are you ready for a perfect viewing experience with Catwoman?
Meow.
I better stop doing all these cat puns because the claws will be out very soon.
Middle finger right now, Bede.
Wow, I've made this into a very hairy experience.
I hate you. I really do.
I guess everyone's gone from a whisker to a scream.
Oh no.
It's going to be like the cat from outer space all over again.
Oh dear.
Yeah, totally.
Should we make a drinking game out of it now?
Yes.
If you're listening, fellow listeners, have a drink every time Bede does a cat pun, and let us know how you do.
Let us know if you...
Cat puns.
Yeah, let us know if you survived the experience.
But, yes, let's get right to it. I'll count us down from 5, and when I say go, we play the movie. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
And we're off, ladies and gentlemen.
Do.
Good old Warner Brothers.
And the interesting thing is, though, Catwoman was the last female-led superhero film that Warner Brothers produced until Wonder Woman.
That's right. Because this one did so well.
Indeed. It did so well that they were like, we don't. This movie is like the pinnacle of female superhero films. We shouldn't even make any more superhero.
And you know what? Like, the actual start of this, like, I like this kind of opening sequence with all this kind of mythology around cats and stuff. Like, I don't really know, like, what they had in mind for this, because we know that they were going to do, like, a Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman movie, and it somehow turned into this. But this adds all this bizarre mythology. So it's like, is this meant to be, like, Catwoman the superhero, or something completely different that's called Catwoman?
Yeah, well, because, most people would know that Catwoman, she's not really someone with superpowers. She's just a cat burglar who's got, So basically, like this film, and we should say, like, the Catwoman in this film is not the one that we all know and love, Selena Kyle. This is a completely different character, Patience Phillips, sorry. So basically, like, having a new character, you could say, like, at least kind of gives a bit of an excuse to kind of have her own different kind of backstory in regards to what her Catwoman, her take on Catwoman is, because this one you could use mythology and also having kind of superhuman powers and abilities in it as well. Yeah. Although I am disturbed by that cat picture back there.
Yeah, that was a bit disturbing.
That was a bit like, what the hell?
But like...
Most of these are disturbing. Oh, hello!
But like...
Yeah,
does it make any... Like, could you ever see this Catwoman teaming up with Batman? Because for me, it just doesn't quite work.
No.
No, not really, no.
It's just a very... I don't know, I think they were trying to go for something different, but something was lost in translation because, again, this opening gets you interested. It's... these pictures of the cats throughout history and the cat women, and you're like, oh, okay, but it just really lost something somewhere. And how do you do that? You have Halle Berry. Halle Berry is awesome. She's spunky. How did this just not quite work?
Yeah, and taking into account she was also just coming off of doing, X-Men, so she was quite... like a quite huge profile at this point in time when they were making this. So it's kind of just like, well, why did you just waste so much potential?
Yeah, and coming off of as well, being a Bond girl, a Bond woman, and also winning an Oscar, which again, I will always say, I think she's fantastic in that role.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is all very bizarre because it kind of takes the Michelle Pfeiffer backstory thing in Batman Returns, but it does this whole different thing with it, and it's just bizarre.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the thing though, because this version of Catwoman had been in development for years, and for a long time originally, because as we all know, at the end of Batman Returns, like there's a quick shot of Catwoman looking up at the bat signal, so to indicate that she did survive, and it was going to indicate like they were going to make a Catwoman spin-off that Michelle Pfeiffer was very much down to return for, and also Tim Burton was interested in directing. But I guess after the reception of Batman Returns, since it was way too dark and stuff like that, it kind of put things on the back burner. But then, like, this project was still in development for quite a while. But it got to a point where both Tim Burton and Michelle Pfeiffer kind of moved along. And then for a while, Ashley Judd was actually attached to play Catwoman. But then eventually, you know, over time, it kind of just moved on and became the movie that it ended up being. But I guess being that it has a very like patience-filled backstory in this is kind of very similar to Michelle Pfeiffer's you know, Selena Kyle character in Batman Returns. Maybe that like being kind of similar is probably the point, because, you know, this is originally early on it was meant to be in the same universe as Batman Returns.
Yeah, but this film, to be honest, it feels like it is a Catwoman movie made by people who don't know who Catwoman is.
Yeah, like they never picked up a comic book in their life.
Yeah.
And just through the title Catwoman and go, oh yeah, we know what we're doing. It's like, you did not. Do you read it?
This was around that time, like in the late 90s, early 2000s, like where superhero films, like, some were definitely obviously made by people who probably weren't comic book readers, and basically they just kind of made up their own backstory and mythology with a lot of characters. Like, even like in the unmade Superman Returns, with my man Nicolas Cage was going to be starring it, like they were going to change a lot of things. Like Superman wasn't even going to fly or even have a cape and stuff. It's like, and you think like, did any of these people actually read comic books? I mean, I don't mind people making changes when it comes to certain things, but when you kind of get rid of so much and add stuff that doesn't make sense for a particular character or story, it's just like, why not just create a whole new character rather than, you know, I guess it's kind of a name brand type of thing.
But can we just talk about the fact that Sharon Stone knows exactly what kind of movie she's in, and she plays up to it so much. Like, this is a movie where the villains make evil fucking face cream or whatever it is, beauty cream.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of ridiculous, but she understood what the hell she was doing. Although
she understood the assignment.
Yeah, although I'm not sure. I forgot this actor's name. He didn't get the assignment at all. He thinks he's winning an Oscar in this role.
Lambert. It's either, I'm probably going to butcher his name because I know he's a French actor. So his first name's either Lambert or Lambert Wilson.
Yeah, that's right.
And he was everywhere in the early 2000s too, because he was in the Matrix sequels and a bunch of other films as well. But these days he's like, he's a well-known French actor.
Yeah, I was going to say he's the Merovingian in the Matrix.
Yeah. But clearly, you're right, he clearly doesn't get what movie he's in. But Sharon Stone definitely does.
And Halle Berry is kind of like between two worlds. Like, it's almost like she wants to give a good performance, but she's also aware this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And, like, seeing her just in frumpy clothes, it's like, really? Because she's stunning. Anyone who sees her is not going to think anything of her. They're going to be like, you know...
Yeah.
You know, you see Halle Berry, you can't just... You know, baggy clothes is not going to make her seem, quote-unquote, ugly.
Yeah.
It's like that old trope in a lot of, like, late 90s, early 2000s. How do we make a really sort of absolutely gorgeous woman look like a nerd on screen? Let's just put glasses and raggedy clothes on her.
Yeah, seriously, it's ridiculous.
Seriously, this movie would be seriously like, if this happened, Halle Berry could have taken off the glasses and her hair just flow like that, and she'd be like turned into a...
But like, look at her there with the pigtails, with the pajamas. She is freaking adorable. Like, really? Oh, it's a kitty!
Oh, hi, kitty. See, Marcy, why aren't your cats Henry and Max not watching this movie right now?
Because they're little shits who would destroy my room if they were in here.
Yes.
Meow! Meow!